There is no place for grief in a house which serves the muse. There you are. I've been waiting for you. It's tricky, that finicky thing. See, if you don't get it just right, and it's nothing but white noise and blur. Sort of like chasing the spark of an idea. If it doesn't snap into view, it's either nothing at all, or so out of focus it's simpler to abandon it and do something else. Maybe cooking. That's a favorite. Breakthrough at the shore. Such drama. Such turmoil. There's something about bodies of water, whether it's the vast ocean or a backyard pond. It's mysterious and unpredictable. Maybe that... Imagine your name being shelf-worthy. Defining your medium, a style, even an era. Maybe mine will end up someplace. Probably on a binder at my accountant's. Oh! Is it locked? Seems from a happier time, I suppose. Ever since I took these, I've just felt like something's missing. I'd commend you, but then there aren't that many options. Still, you wouldn't believe how many guest emus. Muse. Interesting word. Is it a noun, a verb, maybe a band eventually? Regardless, thank you for writing it. It brought me here, and besides, is there anything worse in this world than a blank page? So much promise and potential, yes, but so much pressure. Sometimes so much possible. Well, now that I'm here, I could use a drink. Or maybe a smoke. Where do we think the good stuff is stashed? Maybe in that credenza. Whoa. I haven't been Would you listen to that? Birds chirping, water lapping. Things seem so simple, plotted out like this, don't they? When the distance from where you are to where you aspire to be is only an inch. Not a gaping chasm. The way it feels to me sometimes. They say that art is a way of looking. Well, my sense of inspiration must be nearsighted. I try to find my way, but it's all a muddy blur. Back to the drawing board, I suppose. Oh, this one's not half bad. A little derivative, sure, but it has vision, real suspense. It poses a question to the viewer. What lies beyond in all that darkness? Caves have always been a source of inspiration. Why, early man made his first works of art in caves not unlike these. But, oof, this seems to be where the light of inspiration fizzled out, imploded. A gap-toothed smile, a six-pack with one dead soldier. Some things really are defined by what's missing. Some people are... so many memories. This little rowboat. What a companion it's been. Just me and this skiff. Only a sketch pad and a scrap of charcoal to share our voyage. The reflections on the water could provide hours and hours of material. Most people don't understand reflections, how the ripples can transform the simplest subjects. A challenge, but so rewarding. But then, you know all about that. Sunsets are so fleeting. The minute they start, they're hurtling toward their inevitable end, and we're left scrambling to squeeze one more magic hour out of them. Maybe that's why they're such a popular subject. Still, what I wouldn't give to have a few more minutes of this golden light. Well then, you've done what I could. Bring things clearly into view. Good heavens, how many sunsets must I have observed from this very spot? Innumerable, a lifetime of sunsets, each one more brilliant than the last. And me? I had so much brilliance ahead of me in those days, too. Funny, I haven't seen one of these in, well, I don't know how long. A real oil lamp. Probably all dried up, sputtered out. I know the feeling. Somebody's not getting very far with only one oar. That's the quickest way to spin in circles, if you ask me. The harder you paddle, the more no place you get. Still, all that struggling gives you something to do. Or, such a little word, such a threatening one. Me, I never know which way to go. Too many choices, too many decisions to make. It's like writing a piece of music. Every note in existence is up there in your head, swimming around, and you have to snatch down the next right one. Who can ever choose? Who can ever choose? How's that for a light bulb moment? Gosh, what relief. There's nothing better than a beacon, a little light in the darkness. A signal you're on the right track, that you're not up the creek without a... Whoa. You know the phrase. Oh, I'd give anything for a little assurance like that. Watch your step. The first time I saw this cabin, well, you wouldn't recognize it. Total disrepair. But I could see what it could be. Potential. It was everywhere in those days. I fell in love with potential everywhere I looked. And now, well, at least there's one project around here you could call finished. The summer I built that picnic table was the happiest of my life. Surrounded by nature and friends. Well, before I thought of them as distractions. Call me old-fashioned. I know these things have fallen out of favor, but I have a soft spot for them. You always know where you stand with a record. Drop the needle on side A, start to finish. I've flipped to side B and then straight on until the last crackle. A smooth journey from beginning to end. I can't put my finger on it exactly, but I just don't feel at home here anymore. The place I knew so well feels so unfamiliar. A beloved song, overheard from the other room, distorted through the walls. That knocked something loose, something in me too. Nothing like a familiar tune to bring you back to yourself. I know this melody by heart. If I hadn't been a painter, maybe I'd have been a composer. As it is, I never learned much past scales. But still, I think the simplest melodies can be the most beautiful. Oh, huh. I remember these. I must have sketched them last season. When you're grasping for some encouragement to keep going, everything starts to look like a sign. Funny things, those cairns. These unassuming little pebbles can mean so much. You'd almost miss them if you weren't paying attention. But when dark starts to set in, and you're lost, they're the most precious things in the world. Worth their weight in gold or ivory. Ah, hearing this again has got me so inspired. I almost feel, transported. Back in the studio, at last. Thank you for finding your way here, and helping me find mine. It's funny, I've spent so many hours here without you, just wondering when inspiration would strike again, doubting it would come for me at all. And now, it's you who's here without me. To my muse. When first I couldn't find you, I returned to the places you'd always been. I tried all the usual tricks, retraced my steps. I made it my work to scour every corner, overturned each stone, squinted into darkness until my eyesight failed, painted shadow over shadow till my canvases sagged with the weight. Without inspiration, I substituted repetition, and my Eden became my purgatory. Where were you then? It hardly matters now. A record scratch, familiar tune, something shook me loose. Almost outside myself, I broke all my old rules, burned down the scaffolding I'd used to build myself up. What was left there in the ashes? You. Any trail guide could have told me the only way out is through. I'll leave no forwarding address, but I harbor no hard feelings. You won't find me in the usual places. I'm not looking for you. I'm looking for me. Sincerely, Donovan.